Welcome back to the channel, Coin Lovers. Today we're exploring four interesting U.S. quarter dollar coins that many people still find in circulation, but few truly understand. These coins may look ordinary at first glance, yet each one carries its own history, metal story, and collector value. Let's start our journey with the 1966 quarter dollar. The 1966 quarter dollar coin holds a unique and fascinating place in United States numismatic history because it was produced during a major transition period in American coinage. This era followed the Coinage Act of 1965, which dramatically changed the metallic composition of circulating coins in response to rising silver prices and widespread hoarding. Before 1965, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But by the mid-1960s, the intrinsic value of silver in coins had risen so high that people were removing them from circulation. To protect the nation's coin supply and stabilize everyday commerce, the U.S. Mint eliminated silver from the quarter dollar beginning in 1965, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. The 1966 quarter is therefore part of the first generation of non-silver quarters, making it historically significant even though it is often overlooked by casual collectors. The 1966 quarter was struck only at the Philadelphia Mint, but it does not carry a mint mark. During the years 1965, 1966, and 1967, the U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks from all circulating coins. This decision was made to discourage collectors from hoarding coins based on mint location, which the government believed was contributing to coin shortages. As a result, all 1966 quarters, regardless of where they might normally have been produced, bear no mint mark. In reality, production for 1966 quarters was centralized and Philadelphia handled the output. This absence of a mint mark often confuses new collectors, but is a key identifying feature of quarters from this short 3-year period. The obverse of the 1966 quarter features a familiar portrait of George Washington, a design originally created by sculptor John Flanagan. This portrait was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth and quickly became a permanent design due to its popularity and strong public recognition. Washington is shown facing left, with a dignified expression that reflects his role as the nation's first president. The word liberty appears above his head, following the curve of the coin's rim, while the phrase "In God We Trust" is placed to the left of his neck. The date 1966 is located at the bottom of the obverse. The overall design remained unchanged from earlier quarters, reinforcing continuity even as the coin's composition had fundamentally changed. The reverse of the 1966 quarter depicts a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend. Beneath the eagle is an olive branch, representing peace, a reminder of America's preference for peace, but readiness for defense if necessary. Above the eagle's head is the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, a phrase that reflects the unity of the states forming a single nation. Around the outer edge of the reverse are the words United States of America along the top and quarter dollar along the bottom. This reverse design, also by John Flanagan, was used on Washington quarters from 1932 until 1998, when it was replaced by the 50-state quarters program. One of the most important aspects of the 1966 quarter is its composition. Unlike earlier quarters, it contains no silver. Instead, it is made from a copper-nickel-clad structure, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This construction gives the coin its distinctive appearance, with a silvery color on the surface, but a visible copper stripe along the edge when viewed from the side. The total weight of the coin is approximately 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.26 millimeters and a reeded edge. These specifications were carefully chosen to ensure the new quarters would function properly in vending machines and coin-operated devices that had been calibrated for the earlier silver coins. The mintage of the 1966 quarter dollar was extremely high compared to many earlier dates. Over 821 million coins were produced, reflecting the government's urgent need to replenish circulating coinage after the silver hoarding crisis. Because of this enormous production number, 1,966 quarters are very common in circulated condition and can still occasionally be found in pocket change today. This high mintage is a major reason why most 1966 quarters have relatively low monetary value, especially when worn. In circulated condition, the value of a 1966 quarter is typically close to its face value of 25 cents. Even examples in very good or fine condition usually do not command a premium. However, coins in higher grades can be more desirable to collectors. Uncirculated 1966 quarters, especially those with strong luster and minimal contact marks, can be worth a few dollars. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services may bring higher prices, particularly if they exhibit exceptional strike quality and eye appeal. While these values are still modest compared to rare silver quarters, they reflect collector interest in well-preserved examples. One interesting aspect of the 1966 quarter is the existence of special mint set coins. From 1965 through 1967, the U.S. Mint did not produce traditional proof sets. Instead, it issued special mint sets, often abbreviated as SMS. These sets were created to provide collectors with high-quality examples during a time when the mint was focused on maximizing circulation output. The coins in these sets have a distinctive appearance, with sharper strikes and a satin-like finish that differs from both regular circulation coins and traditional proofs. A 1966 quarter from a special mint set can be significantly more valuable than a standard circulation strike, especially if it is well preserved. High-grade SMS quarters can command premium prices in the collector market. Error coins are another area of interest for collectors of the 1966 quarter. Because of the massive production volume, mistakes inevitably occurred during the minting process. Common errors include off-center strikes, double strikes, clip planchets, and die cracks. Some 1966 quarters also show double die characteristics, where parts of the design appear double due to misalignment during the die creation process. These error coins can be worth substantially more than normal examples, depending on severity and visibility of the error. Collectors who enjoy searching through rolls of mint. The removal of silver from circulating coins was controversial at the time, with many people fearing it would reduce the intrinsic value and prestige of American money. The 1966 quarter represents the government's effort to adapt to these challenges while maintaining public confidence in the currency system. Washington remains, updated slightly over the years but still recognizable. Collectors looking back at the 1966 issue can see it as a foundation stone of the modern clad coin era. Next is the 1980 D quarter dollar, struck at the Denver Mint. The 1987 D quarter dollar coin is an interesting and sometimes misunderstood issue in modern United States coinage. It belongs to the long-running Washington quarter series, which began in 1932 and continued with the same basic obverse and reverse designs until 1998. By 1987, the quarter dollar had been part of everyday American life for more than 5 decades, and although the design had become very familiar, the coin still reflected important aspects of U.S. history, minting practices, and economic conditions of the late 20th century. The 1987 D quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small D mint mark located on the obverse of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. Unlike the mid-1960s, when mint marks were temporarily removed, by 1987 mint marks were once again standard on U.S. coins. The Denver Mint played a major role in supplying circulating coinage for the western and central United States, and in 1987, it produced a very large number of quarters to meet public demand. The obverse of the 1987 D quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington is shown facing left, with a calm and dignified expression that symbolizes leadership and stability. The word liberty arches across the top of the coin near the rim, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," appears to the left of Washington's neck. The date 1987 is positioned at the bottom of the obverse. The design is simple, balanced, and instantly recognizable, which is one reason it remained in use for so many decades. The reverse of the 1987 D quarter displays a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows in its talons. Beneath the eagle is an olive branch, representing peace. Above the eagle's head is the inscription, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, a phrase that emphasizes the unity of the United States. Around the outer edge of the reverse are the words United States of America at the top and quarter dollar at the bottom. This reverse design had been used on Washington quarters since 1932 and would continue until it was replaced by the state quarters reverse in 1999. The 1987 D quarter is a clad coin, meaning it contains no silver. Its composition consists of an outer layer made of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This copper-nickel clad structure had been standard for quarters since 1965, following the removal of silver from circulating coinage. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. When viewed from the side, the copper core is visible as a thin line between the nickel-colored outer layers. In terms of mintage, the 1987 D quarter had a very high production number. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of quarters that year, making the coin extremely common in circulation. Because of this large mintage, the 1987 D quarter is not considered rare. For many years after its release, it could easily be found in everyday pocket change, cash registers, and coin rolls from banks, and even today it still occasionally appears in circulation. The value of a 1987 D quarter in circulated condition is generally equal to its face value of 25 cents. Most examples show signs of wear, including flattening of Washington's hair and cheek on the obverse, and reduced detail in the eagle's feathers on the reverse. Scratches, small nicks, and dull surfaces are common due to decades of use. These circulated coins are primarily of interest as everyday examples of modern U.S. coinage, rather than as valuable collectibles. Uncirculated examples of the 1987 D quarter can be worth more, especially if they are well preserved with strong original mint luster. Coins graded in the MS-63 to MS-65 range by professional grading services may sell for a few dollars, while higher grade examples can bring somewhat stronger premiums. However, because so many uncirculated coins were saved by collectors and dealers at the time, even high-grade examples are relatively available compared to older issues. One factor that adds interest to the 1987 D quarter is the existence of proof versions, although these were not struck at the Denver Mint. Proof quarters dated 1987 were produced at the San Francisco Mint and carry an S Mint mark. These proof coins were made specifically for collectors using specially prepared dies and planchets, resulting in sharp details and mirror-like fields. While proof coins are a separate category from a 1987 D circulation strike, collectors often compare them to better understand differences in finish and strike quality. Error coins are another area of interest for collectors of the 1987 D quarter. Because of the massive scale of production, mistakes sometimes occur during the minting process. Examples include off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, and weak strikes. Some coins may also show minor doubling or other anomalies. Depending on the type and severity of the error, these coins can be worth significantly more than a normal 1987 D quarter, especially if the error is clear and visually striking. The historical context of the 1987 D quarter reflects a period when the U.S. economy was relatively stable and coinage production focused on meeting the needs of everyday commerce rather than responding to metal shortages or major design changes. The quarter dollar was widely used in vending machines, parking meters, laundromats, and public transportation systems, making it one of the most important denominations in daily life. The 1987 D quarter played its role in this system, circulating extensively and supporting countless small transactions. From a collector's standpoint, the 1987 D quarter is often included in date and mint sets of Washington quarters. Completing such a set allows collectors to trace subtle changes in minting quality, luster, and strike characteristics over time. While the 1987 D quarter may not stand out for rarity, it contributes to the completeness and historical continuity of a collection. The condition of a 1987 D quarter is a key factor in its appeal. Coins that have never circulated retain crisp details, sharp lettering, and bright or satiny luster. Over time, even uncirculated coins can develop toning, which may appear as light gold, gray, or bluish hues on the surface. Natural toning is generally acceptable to collectors, while heavy spotting or discoloration caused by improper storage can reduce a coin's desirability. Proper storage is important for preserving the quality of a 1987 D quarter, especially for uncirculated or error examples. Coins should be kept in holders made from inert, non-reactive materials and stored in a dry environment away from extreme temperatures. Handling should be minimized, and the legacy of the 1987 D quarter continues as part of the broader story of U.S. coinage. It reflects consistency in design, practicality in composition, and the ability of the U.S. Mint to produce massive quantities of reliable currency. While it may not be rare or highly valuable, it remains a genuine piece of history that connects collectors and the public to the economic and cultural landscape of its time. Moving on to the 1987 D quarter dollar. The 1980 D quarter dollar coin is a representative example of modern United States circulating coinage and forms part of the long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932. By 1980, the quarter dollar had been a familiar and essential part of everyday American commerce for nearly half a century. Although the design itself had remained largely unchanged for decades, the coin reflects the economic conditions, minting practices, and historical context of the late 1970s and early 1980s, a period marked by inflation, rising metal prices, and changes in how people use money in daily life. The 1980 D quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing circulating coins for the United States. The D mint mark appears on the obverse of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. Unlike the mid-1960s, when mint marks were removed to discourage hoarding, by 1980 mint marks were clearly displayed and widely understood by the public. The presence of the D indicates that the coin was produced in Denver, Colorado, and helps collectors distinguish it from coins struck at the Philadelphia or San Francisco mints. The obverse design of the 1980 D quarter features the well-known portrait of George Washington, created by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington is shown facing left, with a composed and authoritative expression that symbolizes leadership and national unity. The word liberty is inscribed along the upper rim of the coin, while the motto, "In God We Trust," appears to the left of Washington's neck. The date 1980 is positioned at the bottom of the obverse. This design, first introduced in 1932, had become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage by the time the 1980 D quarter was produced. The reverse of the coin displays a traditional heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, holding a bundle of arrows in its talons. Below the eagle is an olive branch, symbolizing peace. Above the eagle's head appears the inscription E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, a phrase that reflects the unity of the states forming the nation. Around the edge of the reverse are the words United States of America at the top and quarter dollar at the bottom. This reverse design was used on Washington quarters from 1932 until 1998, just before the introduction of the state quarters program. The 1980 D quarter is a clad coin made of copper and nickel rather than silver. Its composition consists of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This copper-nickel clad structure had been standard for quarters since 1965, when silver was removed from circulating coinage due to rising bullion prices and hoarding. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. When viewed from the side, the copper core is visible as a thin line between the nickel-colored outer layers. In terms of mintage, the 1980 D quarter was produced in very large numbers. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of quarters that year to meet the demands of circulation. As a result, the 1980 D quarter is considered a common coin and is widely available in circulated condition. For many years after its release, it could easily be found in everyday change, and even today it is not unusual to encounter one in circulation. The value of a 1980 D quarter in circulated condition is generally equal to its face value of 25 cents. Most circulated examples show signs of wear, including smoothing of Washington's hair and facial features on the obverse and reduced detail in the eagle's feathers on the reverse. Contact marks, scratches, and a dull or darkened surface are also common due to years of use in commerce. These circulated coins are primarily of interest as part of general collections or as examples of modern U.S. coinage rather than for their monetary value. Uncirculated examples of the 1980D quarter can be more desirable to collectors, especially those with strong original mint luster and minimal contact marks. Coins graded in the MS-63 to MS-65 range may sell for a few dollars, while higher grade examples can command higher prices, particularly if they exhibit excellent eye appeal. However, because many uncirculated coins were saved by collectors and dealers at the time of issue, even high-grade examples are not especially rare. Proof versions of the 1980 quarter were struck at the San Francisco Mint and carry an S Mint mark. These proof coins were made using specially prepared dies and planchets, resulting in sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. Although proof coins are not the same as the 1980D circulation strikes, they are often collected alongside them as part of complete date sets. Proof quarters from 1980 are generally more valuable than circulated coins, but are still widely available. Error coins add another layer of interest to the 1980D quarter. Given the massive production scale, various minting errors occurred. These include off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, and weak strikes. Some coins may also display minor double die characteristics or other anomalies. Depending on the type, visibility, and severity of the error, such coins can be worth significantly more than a normal 1980D quarter and are actively sought by error coin collectors. The historical context of the 1980D quarter is closely tied to the economic challenges of the era. The late 1970s and early 1980s were marked by high inflation, rising energy costs, and changing consumer habits. Coinage production focused on ensuring that sufficient quantities of durable, cost-effective coins were available for daily transactions. The copper-nickel-clad quarter, including the 1980D issue, played a crucial role in vending machines, parking meters, public transportation, and other coin-operated services that were becoming increasingly common. From a collector's perspective, the 1980D quarter is often included in Washington quarter date and mint sets. While it is not a key date or a rare issue, it contributes to the completeness and historical continuity of such collections. Collectors who specialize in high-grade modern coins may also seek out exceptionally well-struck examples or coins with attractive toning. The condition of a 1980D quarter significantly affects its appeal. Uncirculated coins retain sharp details, crisp lettering, and original luster that can range from bright and reflective to soft and satiny. Over time, even uncirculated coins may develop toning, often appearing as light gold, gray, or bluish hues. Natural toning is generally acceptable and sometimes desirable, while heavy spotting or corrosion caused by improper storage can reduce a coin's value. Coinage during a challenging economic period. For many collectors, coins like the 1980D quarter serve as tangible connections to the everyday life and economic conditions of their time. In the broader story of U.S. numismatics, the 1980D quarter stands as a reliable and functional piece of currency that fulfilled its role in commerce while maintaining a design rooted in tradition. Its widespread circulation, durable composition, and familiar imagery made it a true workhorse of the American monetary system. Finally, we have the 1995D quarter dollar. The 1995D quarter dollar coin is part of the long-running Washington quarter series and represents one of the final years of the original Eagle reverse design before the major change introduced by the state quarters program in 1999. By the mid-1990s, the quarter dollar was one of the most widely used coins in everyday American commerce, and the 1995D issue reflects both the stability of U.S. coin design and the practical needs of a modern economy. Although it is not a rare coin, it carries historical importance as part of the closing chapter of the classic Washington quarter era. The 1995D quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small d mint mark located on the obverse of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. The Denver Mint had long been a key producer of circulating coins for the western and central United States, and in 1995 it struck a very large number of quarters to meet the high demand created by vending machines, parking meters, public transportation systems, and everyday retail transactions. The presence of the mint mark makes it easy for collectors to distinguish this coin from a Philadelphia issue of the same year. The obverse design of the 1995D quarter features a familiar portrait of George Washington, created by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington is shown facing left, with a dignified and composed expression that has become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. The word liberty appears along the top rim of the coin, while the motto "In God We Trust" is placed to the left of Washington's neck. The date 1995 is displayed at the bottom of the obverse. By this point in the series, the design had been in continuous use for more than 60 years, symbolizing continuity and tradition in U.S. currency. The reverse of the 1995 D-quarter displays the classic heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, holding a bundle of arrows in its talons. Beneath the eagle is an olive branch, representing peace. Above the eagle's head is the inscription E Pluribus Unum, meaning out of many one, emphasizing the unity of the nation. Around the outer edge of the reverse are the words United States of America at the top and $quarter at the bottom. This reverse design, also by John Flanagan, had been used since 1932 and would soon be retired with the introduction of the State Quarter series. The 1995 D-quarter is a copper-nickel-clad coin with no silver content. Its composition consists of outer layers made of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This clad construction had been standard for quarters since 1965, following the removal of silver from circulating coinage. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. When viewed from the side, the copper core can be seen as a thin line between the silvery outer layers. In terms of mintage, the 1995 D-quarter was produced in very large quantities. The Denver Mint struck several hundred million quarters that year, making the coin extremely common in circulation. Because of this high mintage, the 1995 D-quarter is not considered rare, and for many years it was easily found in everyday pocket change. Even today, it is still occasionally encountered in circulation. The value of a 1995 D-quarter in circulated condition is typically equal to its face value of 25 cents. Most circulated examples show wear on the high points of the design, including Washington's hair and cheek on the obverse, and the eagle's breast and wing feathers on the reverse. Scratches, contact marks, and a dull or slightly darkened surface are common due to years of use in commerce. These coins are mainly collected as part of complete date and mint sets rather than for their intrinsic value. Uncirculated examples of the 1995 D-quarter are more appealing to collectors, especially those with strong original mint luster and minimal contact marks. Coins graded in the MS-63 to MS-65 range may sell for a few dollars, while higher grade examples can command somewhat higher prices. However, because many uncirculated coins were saved by collectors and dealers at the time of issue, even high-grade examples are relatively plentiful and affordable. Proof versions of the 1995 quarter were produced at the San Francisco Mint and carry an S Mint mark. These proof coins were made specifically for collectors using specially prepared dies and planchets, resulting in sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. While proof coins are not the same as the 1995 D-circulation strike, they are often collected alongside it as part of complete year sets and provide an interesting contrast in strike quality and finish. Error coins can add extra interest and potential value to the 1995 D-quarter. Given the large-scale production, various minting errors occurred, including off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, and weak strikes. Some coins may also show double die features or other anomalies. The value of such error coins depends on the type, visibility, and severity of the error, with more dramatic errors being more desirable to collectors. The historical context of the 1995 D-quarter reflects a time of relative economic stability in the United States. The mid-1990s saw widespread use of coins in vending machines, payphones, parking meters, and public transportation. The quarter dollar was especially important in these systems, and the 1995 D issue played a significant role in everyday transactions across the country. At the same time, the U.S. Mint was already planning major changes to the quarter series, which would soon lead to increased public interest in coin collecting. From a collector's perspective, the 1995 D-quarter is often viewed as part of the build-up to the State Quarters program, which began just a few years later and sparked one of the largest coin collecting booms in U.S. history. Collectors who assemble complete Washington quarter sets see the 1995 D issue as one of the last regular circulation quarters before that transformative program began. The condition of a 1995 D quarter greatly influences its desirability. Uncirculated coins retain sharp details, crisp lettering, and bright or satiny luster. Over time, even uncirculated coins may environment. Handling should be minimized, and coins should be held by the edges to avoid leaving fingerprints or oils on the surface, which can lead to long-term damage. Although the 1995 D quarter is not considered a major investment coin, it holds historical and educational value. It represents the final years of classic design that have been part of American life for generations. For many collectors, coins like the 1995 D quarter serve as tangible links to the everyday experiences of the past and to the evolution of U.S. coinage. In conclusion, even modern quarter dollars like the 1966, 1980 D, 1987 D, and 1995 D coins can be worth your attention. Condition, rarity, and mint errors play a huge role in determining value. So next time you check your pocket change, look closely. You might be holding a hidden collectible. If you enjoy learning about U.S. coins and their values, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more coin history and rare finds. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting.